Hi there, so welcome back to the channel and welcome to Excel Island, where the goal and objective is to learn and master Python over the next 100 days. Today is day 58. We are on the course Introduction to Data Visualization with Seaborn. This is the 8th course out of the 15 courses we need to complete to become a data analyst in Python on the DataCamp, using the DataCamp career pathway. So we are on the 4th chapter in this introduction to data visualization with Seaborn, which is the 8th course. And each courses in this whole career path has four chapters each. So we are on the 8th course, as I said earlier. So I'll just share my screen so we can begin immediately. So we're looking at Seaborn, which is a powerful Python library that makes it easy to create informative and attractive data visualization in Python. So we are on the last chapter, which is customizing Seaborn plots. So we've learned introduction to Seaborn. We've learned how to visualize two quantitative variables with Seaborn. We've also learned how to visualize categorical and quantitative variables with Seaborn. Now I want to learn how to customize and make the plot visually appealing to the audience. So this is all we want to learn in this fourth chapter. So without any other delay, let's get started. So if you're looking to learn Python, you can just go to the data analyst, to the Excel Island Livestream tab on YouTube channel, where we started from day one, from introduction to Python, NumPy, pandas, lists, tuples, and so many other basic Python knowledge. So you can start from there also. So without any other introduction, let's continue from where we stopped on day 57. So this is where we stopped last time, where we learned how to use uh scatter plot. So we covered this chapter 3 on day 56, 56, 57. So that's what we did there. So I'm moving to customizing Seaborn plots now. Also done the seconds there.
So far, we've covered how to create a variety of different plot types. Now, let's learn how to customize them. By default, Seaborn plots are pleasing to look at, but there are several reasons you may want to change the appearance. Changing the style of a plot can be motivated by personal preference, but it can also help improve its readability or help orient an audience more quickly to the key takeaway. Seaborn has 5 preset figure styles which change the background and axes of the plot. You can refer to them by name: white, dark, white grid, dark grid, and ticks. To set one of these as the global style for all of your plots, use the Set Style function. This is a plot we've seen before, showing the percentage of men reporting that masculinity was important to them, stratified by their age, and whether or not they feel masculine. The default style is called white and provides clean axes with a solid white background. If we only care about the comparisons between the groups or the general trend across age groups instead of the specific values, this is a good choice. Changing the style to white grid will add a gray grid in the background. This is useful if you want your audience to be able to determine specific values of the plotted points instead of making higher-level observations. The other styles are variants on these. Ticks is similar to white, but adds small tick marks to the X and Y axes. Dark provides a gray background, and dark grid provides a gray background with a white grid. You can change the color of the main elements of the plot with Seaborn's Set Palette function. Seaborn has many preset color palettes that you can refer to by name, or you can create your own custom palette. Let's see an example. Seaborn has a group of preset palettes called diverging palettes that are great to use if your visualization deals with a scale where the two ends of the scale are opposites and there is a neutral midpoint. Here are some examples of diverging palettes: red-blue and purple-green. Note that if you append the palette name with _R, you can reverse the palette. To see this in action, let's return to a count plot we've seen before of the responses of men reporting how masculine they feel. Setting this plot's palette to red-blue diverging provides a clearer contrast between the men who do not feel masculine and the men who do. Another group of palettes are called sequential palettes. These are a single color or two colors blended, moving from light to dark values. Sequential palettes are great for emphasizing a variable on a continuous scale. One example is this plot depicting the relationship between a car's horsepower and its miles per gallon, where points grow larger and darker when the car has more cylinders. You can also create your own custom palettes by passing in a list of color names or a list of hex color codes. Finally, you can change the scale of your plot by using the Set Context function. The scale options from smallest to largest are paper, notebook, talk, and poster. The default context is paper. You'll want to choose a larger scale like talk for posters or presentations where the audience is farther away from the plot. Now that we've seen how to change the plot style, palette, and scale, let's practice.
Okay, let's look at some basic customization you can perform on your plots. Also done a second there. So changing palette style. So let's see the data set we're going to be making use of in this instance. So the data set is already linked right here. As we're on the 8th course. So we're on the fourth, we've done the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, on the fourth chapter now. And these are the data sets we actually used throughout this lesson. So I'm just going to go back here. So changing the style and palette, or palette, I hope I pronounced that correctly. So let's return to our data sets containing the result of a survey given to young people about their habits and preference. About their habits and preference, let's see if we have access to that data sets. Young people survey. So we have it here. So you can as well still make use of it in this instance. So let me just create a new notebook. Let me open this first. So this was for chapter 3. This is the same young people survey response. I don't want to continue here. I love having a different notebook for each chapter. I'm going to create a new notebook and just name it. Let's see what we need to name it by the chapter 4, customizing Seaborn plots. So let's name it after that chapter 4, customizing Seaborn plots. So I'm just going to copy all these libraries that we make use of and run the code there. So we're actually using the same data sets as we did in chapter 3. So I'm just gonna wipe here. You can see the data set here. So I just do ypr.head to have just a few number of rows. So let's see how we can customize, visualize and customize the data set. Just some basic customization. So we provided the code to create a count plot of the response to the question. How often do you listen to your parents' advice? Now, let's change the style and palette to make this plot easier to interpret. Okay, so let's run this code. Set the style to white grid. Okay, if you run this line of code, let me copy this line of code. Create a count plot of survey response, category order, never, rarely, sometimes. So these are often the student listen to their parent advice, never, rarely, sometimes. So let me just copy this. So let's see it in action here. But our data set is going to be YPR in this instance. YPR. Oh, let's see, we are missing something. X do you have parent advice here? So this parents advice, we have the column here, parents advice. So there's a small parents advice. Can I just copy this? Let's see if that is going to work. Okay, let's run it. Let's run it again. Voila. Let's see. But the plus is not showing. Where is my plus not showing? Wow. This is the first time my columns are not showing. That's interesting to know. Uh-oh, same thing. Uh-oh. But let me run it here then. So what we need to do is just add a white grid. Let's see. Set the style to white grid. Set the style to white grid. We have the audience determine the number of response in each category. Okay. So SNS dot style. SNS set underscore style. Whether to be white grid. Let's see the aha. Can see the plot I'm having here. So I'm having 0, 100, 20, 300 here. But I'm having another plot in my own notebook here. Why? Let me copy this line of code and give it a shot again. Right here. Let's see. We can see I'm still having the same result. So something is missing. This is showing minus 0.04 minus 0.2. While what I'm seeing here is quite different. I'm seeing 100, 200, 300. Okay. Why is mine different? Oh, that means I didn't copy the whole line of code completely. I copied it. So something is definitely missing here. Come on. My parent advice are 4.0, 2.0, basis of 0, 0. Maybe if you listen to your parent advice, if you don't listen to your parent advice, never that will be 0, rarely will be 1, sometimes will be 2, often will be 3, and always will be 5. Interesting. Why am I having negative numbers there? Let's see. Let's submit and see first. So set the color palette to the sequential palette named purple. Set the color palette to the sequential palette named purple. Set the color palette to purple. SNS, okay, we just change it to purple. No, we're going to say SNS dot palette, set palette. Let's see. To the one of purple. Okay. SNS dot set underscore palette is just double CE. To the one of purple. Where is the palette for purple? Mm, try to figure out the palette for purple. Okay, for purple, let's see, that should be RDBU, BU underscore R, in quotes rather. Let's see. Okay, you can see. So from purple down to, let's see if you're absolutely correct. Okay, this is going to be parent advice also. The survey data, oh, mine should be a YPR, YPR. So I'm still having this same figure of negative in this axis here. But let's continue. Since we are getting it in this instance here. To change the color palette to diverging palette name RDBU. Let's just copy this palette and change it to RDBU. Okay. I can just copy this line of code also and just make use of it here again. Even though I'm not getting the result I want, let's just keep trying till I figure it out after the live stream. Or I'm not having same result as I'm having. Hmm, Interesting. Okay, let's submit. Awesome work. So this style and diverging color palette best highlight the difference between the number of young people who usually listen to their parent advice versus those who don't. So I didn't get my really, but let's continue and see what we can do about that. Let's see if we can learn about changing the scale using a custom palette. Oh, this is quite much. Okay, in this exercise, we'll continue to look at the data set containing response from a survey of young people. Does the percentage of people reporting that they feel lonely vary depending on how many siblings they have? Let's find out using a bar plot while also exploring Seaborn 4 different plot skills. We have already imported our Seaborn as SNS. Okay, we've done that. Set the context to paper. Contest to paper. Okay. Set the scale contest to paper, which is the smallest of the scale options. Okay. We're going to sns.contest. Let's see.